All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Real Talk video. May the Most High bless you. I pray everybody has had a beautiful, blessed weekend as we give the Most High all the honor, the glory, and all the praise. My title now says, how can rappers blow $1 million just like that? How can they blow $1 million? This will be my part 3 video. The other day we talked about taking the blood oath in part 1, if you've been keeping up. And then in part 2, we talked about rappers and the gay rituals. So this will be part 3 to tie in with those 2 videos there. Now, let me give a shout out to you, Little Thug, because you watched part 1 and part 2. Major shout out to you. And I pray that there's a lot of more youngsters looking at this video, because I like to tell the truth. Because they always show you all the bling bling, the fortune and the fame, the cars, the women, the videos, the lifestyle. But when it comes to showing what's really going on behind closed doors, man, the majority of these rappers, they old folks, they really broke, and they front being somebody that they not. And I'm going to talk from personal experience. I'm not talking about what I heard, because as I told y'all plenty times on her, I almost went the same way they went. Because I am a producer also, and I produce a lot of beats. I produce a lot of tracks, but I've quit doing a lot of that stuff. And I'm not boasting and bragging. That's why I don't even really talk about that stuff. What I want to talk about is what you don't see from a producer standpoint with these contracts. How half of the artists don't even read their contracts. They just hyped up and they ready to sign something. Now I want you to keep this in mind, Little Thug, in this video. Really, is $1 million a million? And it's not just with rappers. When you look at $1 million, then you start talking about taxes. What's the taxes on $1 million? The card, and you know who you are, and the deductibles and all of that stuff. You know what you got going on in your life and how you being taxed. Man, is $1 million really $1 million? I want you to keep that in mind in this video. I'm using the title, how can rappers blow $1 million? But in reality, are they really getting a full $1 million in the first place? Now, keep this in mind, because I'm from the hood also. Growing up in the hood, you saw a lot and you did a lot. And you knew the struggle. Now let's just keep it real. The rappers that come out of the hood, all most of them did was sold dope, baby mama drama, backgrounds, felonies, penitentiary life, jail life, or in the grave already. That's the hood. So if you come up that way and you've been broke all your life, and let's keep it real, you've been on public housing, food stamps, getting all the help you can from the government, so you've never had a chance at money. And money don't come with instructions. So you don't even know how to handle a large sum of money if you get it. Now, I'm not saying everybody that come out of the hood is dumb as hell. No, because dope dealers are not dumb. I'm talking about big timers that got the organized stuff. Yeah, they're boss man, so they know how it goes to sell. Now, some people don't have it all up here. We know that. But think about how intelligent majority of dope dealers are. And then you wonder, why do dope dealers invest in that little rapper in the hood? Or the one that can play football or basketball. They trying to put their money behind somebody that got something going on with a real talent. So most rappers, once again, if you hear them talk long enough, what are they going to say? Man, I can't wait till I make it, cuz. I'm going to get me a crib. Man, I'm going to get me a $500,000 crib. I'm going to buy my mama a crib. I'm going to get me a few cars. I'm going to get me some jewelry. I'm going to put some rims on all my vehicles. Such and such this, such and such that. I'm going to ball out of control when I get my money. With all that talk, you never hear them really say how they're going to handle the money the right way. Now, if you get a chance to sit down with some real talk, real deal rappers, and there's some on YouTube exposing this stuff. They would tell you how they didn't make no money. They would tell you how the record label robbed them. Once they got through paying they had for the videos, production, and all of that stuff added up, they had maybe $10,000 left. And we still talking about $1 million, right? See, I'm trying to break this down where a baby could understand this, because there's a lot of folks out here getting taken advantage of, and they trying to figure out what happened to my money. As a matter of fact, Q-Tip is explaining that on here, on YouTube. A lot of them will tell you, man, when we started out, all them record sales, man, such and such did, we didn't get nothing. Now, this is why the majority of these rappers, if you listen at their lyrics, they lying in what they talking about. They're not doing half, not even a fourth of what they talking about. Some may be, but let's just keep it real. The majority are just perpetrating. Eazy-E used to call them studio gangsters. Putting stuff on your album that you ain't never done. You ain't never shot up 15 people. Or you ain't never did this. You ain't never done that. Now some have, but the majority are just spitting down some lyrics so they can make that money. Kind of the same thing like a lot of preachers do when they lie to get that money. Only difference between the preacher and some of these rappers is that the preacher doing it behind the pulpit and they pimping the congregation. Most in the hood have already had, let's just keep it real, got bad credit. So when you got bad credit, you already got a felony, more than one felony on your background. You got child support. You got baby mama drama. Like I say, you've been living on public housing and food stamps. You're ashamed of your life. So your mentality is, what 50 Cent say, get rich or die trying. Now I'm going to just make up a name here. Let me see. I'm going to give you a good example on what I'm talking about. Let's get a popular name like Lil Ray Ray. Now everybody know Lil Ray Ray grew up in the hood. Lil Ray Ray older now, but Lil Ray Ray is the one that got the rap skills. He can freestyle, he can write, he'll battle anybody you put in front of him. And everybody know if Ray Ray get one shot at it, somebody heard Ray Ray can make it. So Ray Ray is very popular in the hood. But Ray Ray been trying to get famous for the last 10 years of his life. So Lil Ray Ray just been saying, man, if somebody could just hear me, man, if they could hear me, man, I get up out the hood and I come back and get all my bros out the hood. We gonna make it. We ain't gonna struggle no more. So here comes this record label. Let's just see. We gonna call them Get You For All You Got Records. Y'all catch that later. So here come Get You For All You Got Records. They come here, Lil Ray Ray rap, and they mind is blowed. But really what they saying each other is, he about as green as grass. We gonna skin him alive. He fresh like fresh water. He don't know nothing about the business. He can rap, so that's a gold mine for the Get You For All You Got Records to just snatch Ray Ray. So Ray Ray hyped up now because, oh man, y'all offering me a deal. So what kind of deal I get? All Ray Ray could think is deal. All Ray Ray could think is cars, bling bling, jewelry, money, the cribs, the women, the lifestyle. Ray Ray ain't really focused on what kind of deal is it. He just ready to sign, because that's what he been waiting on. Now, when you sign that contract, they give you this thing we like to call this old advance. Oh, you get this little advance. Here you go, man. I know you got to live. We're going to give you such and such. But what Ray Ray don't understand is that they want that advance money back, plus more. See, Ray Ray can't see this coming, because all Ray Ray is hyped up on is that I got signed. This is how they get you. Trust me, I know. That's why I ain't never signed them. I read them contracts left and right. That's why I never signed them. I can look a man in their eyes and tell when they lying, boy. Most of these rappers think that they make it because they got a contract. But once again, they want that advance money back. And if you don't do good, you up the creek then, huh? So when you see a lot of these rappers that's going out blowing their money on jewelry, cars, cribs, they not thinking about the recording fees, the half they got to pay on their video promotion, the lawyers you got to pay, the accountants' fees. You don't have hardly anything left. Let me keep this in mind once again. Is that million really a million? So let's break this down once again about this million. So say Lil Ray Ray got $1 million signing bonus. So they chunk Ray Ray $1 million. Now remember how Ray Ray growed up once again. He from the hood. He ain't never been taught how to handle money. So he ain't never been taught how to be a good steward. It ain't just Ray Ray. The majority of the people in the hood ain't never been taught how to handle money. Once again, money don't come with instructions. But there's a Bible that I love to read that shows you how to handle money. There are certain people I like to hang around that knows how to handle money because they have been taught how to be a good steward. So since Ray Ray ain't never been taught how to be a good steward, once again, Ray Ray on child support. Ray Ray got 2 felonies. Ray Ray credit is bad. Ray Ray just done had a hell of a lifestyle. So once again, all he see is money. So Ray Ray got $1 million, right? Let's break this down. Once again now, according to his situation, look at the taxes on the million. Let's put in a ball figure, say Ray Ray taxes is $300,000. Now better yet, let's just say $500,000. And this ain't even including all the little stuff. So we still talking about $1 million, right? $1 million ain't $1 million. So Ray Ray now looking at his money like, man, I didn't know they were gonna tax me that much, because he didn't know. Man, I thought I was gonna, man, if I buy a $500,000 crib, I ain't got but $500,000 left. I was at least trying to spend $300,000 or $400,000 on the crib. So say Ray Ray find a crib for $200,000. Or let's just say $250,000. Remember, he working with $1 million, right? That ain't $1 million. You see my point? Do the math. Ray Ray ain't making nothing. So he find a crib for $250,000. And then he looking at these vehicles he want. Ray Ray always wanted a Harley Davidson motorcycle. Now Harley Davidsons can run from anywhere to $15,000 to $100,000 easily. Ray Ray looking at one that costs $30,000, so he can put his girl on the back. Ray Ray pretty much already in the red, ain't he? So Ray Ray still trying to figure out, man, how did I blow $1 million that quick? I ain't even got enough to get my jewelry. See, a lot of people think that the record sales is what's selling for most of these artists, but when you look at it, you look at what I'm saying, some of these artists is paying back people. They owe people. They broke. They being sued by somebody. Look at how much money Mike Tyson blew. He would tell you. Look at what happened with MC Hammer. See, you live and you learn. And I'm not talking bad about these cats. I'm just making a point. Look at Michael Jackson with his gambling problems. Look at all these celebrities that are stuck on dope and drugs and how much money their habits cost them. So when you talk about blowing $1 million, that's easy for them. That's easy. See, once you get into another bracket, you don't fool with those little drugs out of the hood. You start fooling with them drugs that cost way more money. Your habit gets way more expensive. See, Ray Ray really didn't even have enough to get his vehicles or his jewelry, if you catch what I'm saying. So why did you say that like that, JT? I'm glad you asked. Because I want you to understand what I'm saying about these videos when you see them. A lot of these rappers are borrowing or they rent material things to make he or she look like they balling, but in reality they falling. But you don't know that because you don't see what's going on behind closed doors. That's why a lot of these things they rapping about they don't have. And then you wonder why so many hate on Floyd Mayweather. Because when you look at what Floyd Mayweather really actually have at his house, all those expensive cars that he got, I guarantee you some of them rappers done call Floyd Mayweather and say, hey man, let me borrow one of your cars for my next video. Let me rent that. Let me borrow your crib for this. Because they don't have what they saying they have. I'm not talking about everybody once again. But the majority. You gotta rent this, borrow this for your next video. I think in Boys in the Hood, if I'm not mistaken, when Boys in the Hood came out, that 6'4" that Ice Cube was in, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was DJ Quick's 6'4", if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I remember them using that 6'4" for that movie, if I'm not mistaken, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that was DJ Quick's 6'4" or somebody else's. So when you see these rappers borrowing or trying to rent this, or let me use this crib, because they don't have what you think they have. After paying off everything, they might have at least 10,000 left. Some don't even have that. So we talking about $1 million. That's not $1 million in the first place. I mean, let's keep it real in this video. And then think about this. It always take money to make money. So if you ain't got money, look at what the most of them gonna do. How they gonna support it? Selling drugs. Selling drugs that they don't really want you to know about. And then you wonder why. You look on the news, man, they was pushing drug money through this. Even a lot of those churches, who was pushing dope money through the churches? See, somebody don't want to keep it real in this video. And then look at how many who done wasted their money investing in a conservative mix of stocks, real estate, bonds. And when it fall, look what happened. See, everybody can say what they can do with $1 million until they actually get it in their hands. We'll sit back easily and say, oh man, that fool was stupid. What he did. He blew $1 million in a day almost. How you blow 500,000 in a day? How you blow that, man? You stupid. But the question is, would you blow it if you had it? If you never had it, how you know what you're going to do with something that you ain't never had until you get that in your hands? And having these bad habits, once again, is a killer also. So I tell people all the time, I'm going to mess up some folk, and I'm going to try to wrap this video up. Let me make sure the clock is still going. Okay, it is. Let me hit you with this as I try to wrap this up. When you think of the majority of people with their habits, they done already made $1 million. And more than $1 million. I look at the average, I ain't going to say the average, and I don't like to use the term black man and black woman, but since we talking about the hood, let me use the term black, because I don't agree with black. Look at the average one who buy cigarettes all the time. Not only cigarettes, and they smoke weed, and they like to get drunk, and they like to go to the casino and buy scratch-off lottery tickets. Now, if you add up over the years, them same people with all their habits, I know the majority of people I know, they go to the casino once a week or sometime twice a week. And they're going to lose 100 or maybe 150 to 200 every time they go. Now, if you lose, let's just say $200 a week. As a matter of fact, let's just say $100 a week. If you lose $100 a week on gambling, let's look at that $100 a week just for 5 years, 10 years, 25 years. You know, you done already made $500,000 and more. Especially if you're talking about 25 years. I'm talking about folk that been smoking, drinking, getting high, gambling for 25 plus years or 10 years. I mean, you add up I guarantee you they ain't never added up their money on how much money they done lost while they keep sitting around talking about they broke. I guarantee you they done made $1 million plus. But they can't see it because they never do the math. I know people that go through packs and packs of cigarettes in a week's time. Beer, liquor, the casino, scratch-offs. That stuff adds up. If you would take that money and put it up, don't touch it, watch how much money you would have. Because see, habits is something people do every day or every other day. Now, some folk habit ain't bad as others. So when you talk about, let's not even talk about $1 million. Look at how much you losing on your habits. Since we was talking about Lil Ray Ray earlier, now keep in mind, Lil Ray Ray was also a heavy smoker. Lil Ray Ray stressed out, so Lil Ray Ray was always buying cigarettes and weed, and he had to have his drink every single day. So according to who you are and how bad your habits are and how you trying to live, because you got people trying to live up here when they only making right here. Yeah, you're going to blow that $1 million quick. So when you look at all this I'm saying, and then how a lot of artists won't even read their contracts. They don't want to get an entertainment lawyer or whatever the situation is. They don't want to get an account. They don't want to know this. They don't want to get this. So they think they just can do it by themselves because they hyped up. They just happy to sign something. See, a lot of people remember back then, and I'm going to wrap this up, when they sued Kurt Franklin, what was that for, about $5.5 million? I want to say that was God's property. A lot of people in the family, they wonder what happened with the family and God's property and what happened with Kurt Franklin and why all this stuff fell off like that. Go back and study it. No, this ain't what they said they supposed to. The contract said this. We didn't read the contract right off. Did the contract say this? You see all that arguing back and forth. That's why I say it's the same in the gospel industry. It's the same way it is in the hip-hop industry. It's no difference. How do I know? Because I used to be in the gospel production field, and I was more in the rappers field. But once I started getting serious with a lot of gospel artists, I left them alone because I saw how they was pretty much worse than the ones that was rapping and doing R&B. Everybody looking at one thing. I got to get rich. So they'll sell out any way they can to get rich. So that's my time, brothers and sisters. Maybe we'll come back a little later on and say a little more on this if we need to. So hopefully I broke that down where you could just see it. Maybe see it a little bit. So that's my time. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day.